Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Well before he plunged into the rough and tumble of political campaigns, the challenges of the business world, or running the Olympics in Salt Lake City, before any of that, for 2.5 grueling years, Willard Mitt Romney put his future on hold and gave himself over to God.
It made me search my soul.
Romney, at 19, became a full-time missionary of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, leaving college to fulfill a uniquely Mormon calling, just like his father George and older brother Scott.
He felt a responsibility to follow in everybody's footsteps. He felt a responsibility to do what he thought was best under our religious views.
Hey, my name's Elder Gibson. What's your name?
You've probably seen them before, the earnest young men in white shirts and ties, the neatly dressed women, more than 50,000 of them sent around the globe.
Have you heard of Book of Mormon before?
The church hopes every young Mormon will answer the call to serve, but fewer than half, about 38% of American Mormons actually do. Mitt Romney was one of them.
Mitt and I first met in the city of Caen.
Dane McBride and Romney were missionaries together in France.
We gave direction and hope and a faith in Jesus Christ to very many people who were directionless.
And yet, more often than not, they faced rejection.
He expressed that it was difficult and that it was hard and that people were not always friendly and receptive.
A missionary who spent 2.5 years in France would perhaps be successful in bringing 2, maybe 3 people into the church during that entire time.
Life for the missionaries was highly regimented. They had little contact with home, no cigarettes, no alcohol, no girlfriends. Mike Bush was in Romney's mission group.
Why can't you date?
You're focused. When you go on your mission, you set that part of your life, you put it on hold. You press the pause button.
6 days a week they went door to door, distributing religious pamphlets known as tracts.
What was the most unpleasant part of it?
Tracting. You're frustrated because you feel, I have something here that would be important to you, ma'am. I really would like to talk to you about it. And no, thank you, I'm not interested, and the door slams. That's okay. Well, you learn to live with it, but it's still hard.
What would be the first thing you would tell them about the LDS Church and why it's something they should open their mind to?
The fact that the Book of Mormon is a second witness of Jesus Christ.
Missionaries say they don't measure success by the number of people they convert, but they do keep count.
But here it says 200 baptisms by January 1st. So that was a goal, though, that you would hope that you'd get people.
Yes, and I believe we did reach that.
Weekly conversion diaries kept a tally, and Mitt Romney was often on top, handing out more books of Mormon than anyone else, knocking on more doors, getting more invitations to sit and chat. Then, about 2 years into his mission, tragedy.
A terrible car accident in which Mitt was driving the car and it was hit by a drunk driver coming the other way around a curve, and Mitt was in serious condition. As a matter of fact, when the policeman looked at him, he said that il mort. He said he's dead.
In fact, he was badly injured, but recovered, and returned even more driven to succeed on his mission.
He became the top missionary, the lead missionary in the whole mission.
During his missionary years, Mitt Romney spread the word of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints one door knock at a time. But as president, he would have access to more than 300 million Americans all at once. So how would this man who portrays himself as a candidate of faith use that huge platform? It's a question on many people's minds.
Our Father in heaven.
For Mitt Romney, it's a divine question that won't go away. What would it mean to have a devout Mormon in the White House?
We're thankful on the occasion of the birth of thy Son.
The question won't go away largely because many voters don't understand what it means to be Mormon. Some voters believe the Mormon Church still allows a man to have multiple wives. This was Romney on 60 Minutes.
I can't imagine anything more awful than polygamy.
And some view Mormons with suspicion, wondering if powerful church leaders could somehow control a Mormon president.
Hi, Gary. How are you?
I caught up with Mitt Romney in Michigan.
I think Americans want a person of faith to lead the country. I don't think that they care about the particular brand of faith so much as whether we share values.
Here in Salt Lake City at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Romney's candidacy has put church leaders under a microscope.
Now is the time for all of us to reach out and tell others who we are.
In a rare interview, Apostle Russell Ballard, a top Mormon leader, is crystal clear. There is no relationship between the campaign and the church.
Does the church endorse candidates for president of the United States?
No, we don't.
Do you think it's proper for a politician to spread the word about their religion the same way they did when they were on their missions?
No, I think that would be terribly misunderstood.
The suspicion that as president, Romney might take orders from the church derives from Mormon history. Church presidents are considered prophets. In 1843, a prophet's divine revelation led to polygamy. It was then abolished in 1890. So what if today's church president had a major revelation? Could that influence a Romney White House?
Is it up to all faithful Mormons to follow the tenets of the revelation?
If it is a declaration for the entire church, the answer to that is yes.
And is that infrequent, though, in modern times?
It's infrequent today because the foundation of the church is solidly in place.
There is certainly prejudice against Mormons.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm one person who will not vote for a Mormon.
Oh, is that right? Can I shake your hand anyway?
No.
Okay.
The Southern Baptist Convention calls the church a cult. Many Americans say they don't even consider Mormons Christians. An article in the online magazine Slate brands the religion's founder, Joseph Smith, a con man. In fact, he was Elder Russell Ballard's great-great-uncle.
What does Joseph Smith mean to a faithful Mormon?
Everything. God, the eternal Father, and his Son, the Lord Jesus Christ, appeared to him.
Mormons believe in the Old and New Testaments, but also in the Book of Mormon. Think of it as kind of a sequel to the Bible.
We believe that the Garden of Eden was on this continent.
So that the Garden of Eden wasn't in the Holy Land?
No, and not in our doctrine.
For Mormons, Eden was in Missouri, and Jesus Christ visited the Americas after the resurrection.
We know that he came and taught the people and restored the gospel to them.
Has Jesus returned here to the United States in your beliefs?
Oh, yes.
A new CNN opinion research poll shows 19% of voters are less likely to support a Mormon for president. That corresponds to tens of millions of voting-age Americans who say they're not inclined to vote for a guy like Mitt Romney. So should the campaign talk more about religion? Less? The same? Well, that strategy is being actively debated. So are you considering communicating more about your religion to the American public?
You know, I'm happy to talk about my faith to people in our country. I believe in God. I believe that all the children on earth are children of God. So will there be a speech about this at some point? Perhaps. Haven't given that a final decision at this point.
A looming political question for a man of faith who's not overly eager to publicly talk about his Mormon faith. Gary Tuckman, CNN, Dearborn, Michigan.